We had a very close relationship. It wasn't loving at all. It was like a little brother. He was a naughty little brother. And I was terribly sophisticated, a year older than he was. Everyone used to think he was odd, and I didn't think he was odd. I just thought he was a genius. So that's why we got on so well, I'm sure. There are all Brett Whiteleys in here. It's Linfield Park. It was one of his very early ones. We came out after the war in 1947, booked on the Stratheden, which was the first ship after the war. We landed in Sydney. And the main reason he decided to come here in the end, having met Robert Menzies, and Menzies told him there are a lot of Welshmen here already because they had the coal mines up in Newcastle opening up. We bought a lovely house called Mount Hamilton in Bowral, and we lived there for about 3 or 4 years, I think. So he decided we better come and live in Sydney. So I got my leaving and matriculation and decided I wanted to go to university. And I went into law. And I was one of 3 girls doing law, so I didn't do law very well, except I passed, but I decided to work for a lawyer. The law firm I was working for got me in contact with one of the big law firms in Canada, who gave me a job doing the same thing in Canada. So I lived in Canada for a year with my sister, had a very good time, liked it, but it was very cold. Oh, that was the card he sent me for Christmas in Canada. And it's Canada, that's me, I mean that's me, and that's him. We'll write very soon, all my love, sure miss you, cheers, bye. Before I went to Canada, Brett and I got on very well, and Wendy, his sister, who was the same age as me, and we met on the little Longueville butter box, and they were very interested in me because when I was working in the law firms, I used to take home work to do, and they used to put them in a manila folder with pink ribbon on it, and they wondered who this girl was that got on every night with this pink ribbon around her, something or other that I was reading furiously. And Brett was the first one that wanted to know who I was, where I lived. Oh yeah, we used to catch the ferry together every morning, and on the way at Northwood there were 2 artists, quite famous ones, who lived there, and he was always telling me, oh, I'd really love to be like him or her or whatever it was, him too. Who were they? I can't remember now. Anyway, he got to be much more famous. Everything had drawings on them. What's this one? Sure miss you on the ferry these days, still out front and dream of you, bong bong bong. And we just got on, it was a fabulous threesome. We were just very, very close friends. Dear Babs, hi-ho, and thanks a million for the mighty letter. Big sorry for not writing. No excuse, just didn't get around to it. But have been thinking of you a lot. Sure glad you're coming home soon. We'll arrange the most fantastic party for your home coming. We used to go on picnics together. We used to try and save Brett from doing awful things, like stealing people's bread from the bread box as soon as the guy had delivered it. Still taking out Wendy J, who's Wendy Julius, who he married. She's mighty value, though I think I'm getting too involved. And very exciting because he was always doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. 1986. We used to travel in the bus together, and the bus home, and I had the use of my father's car, so every weekend we'd try and go for a picnic somewhere. It was a great time in Sydney because there were no worries, there were no wars. Everyone either went to university or got good jobs. I'm on the desk full time now doing layouts. Oh, I love my paintings more and more. He lived in London for a while when they were married with Wendy. And I'd written to him and he said, I haven't heard from you for ages. And he said, I've been busy doing all of the Christie murder paintings. And they're very famous. And it was so with it. You know, he knew what to do immediately. He picked up a pencil. He could draw. He was just very special. That's him. That's a self-portrait. Well, he said it was a self-portrait. As close as anyone got to seeing Brett. When we first met, no, he was just painting for himself. And then when he got known, everyone was after him. And this vase is Brett's. We did a whole series of vases on stage. And he'd just give me things. And, you know, if I'd say, oh, that's a good one, he'd give it to me. And the first one I said, I'm going to pay for it, and I paid 10 pence for it. Oh, it's Wendy, his wife, at that stage. I'm holding a special private review of my paintings, drawings and sculptures on the theme of birds. Oh, he just wanted to be a good artist. He never thought he was as good as he was. Until he died. Couldn't believe that. Oh, that's Brett Whiteley's funeral. Everything is just a fidget in infinity, he said. And we'd seen each other about a week before. He had an exhibition at his gallery. And we went downstairs to talk about the old days. That was the last time I saw him. Lovely one.
Why is this one your favourite?
I don't know, it just makes me remember the fun side of Brett. He was always doing silly things. Not even he looked as though he's just done a silly thing.
Did Steve enjoy him too?
Yes, he thought there was a great love affair going on, and I said, don't be ridiculous, he's my little brother. I was his big sister who was always picking on him for something or other. But we did have fun together. It definitely wasn't a romantic fun, it was just good friends. Oh, it was instant romance. We took one look at each other and I thought, oh, I like him. And he decided I was definitely the girl, and I think he proposed about 3 days later. My gang didn't like him at all because he'd stolen me. No, they thought he was very good, and Franny and Brett thought he was terrific, so that's all that mattered. I had to go to my boss and say, can I have a day off on Monday? And he said, oh, why, what do you want to do? And I said, oh, well, I've just met someone who wants me to go down to Bowen Island with him. He said, Bowen Island, that's a nudist colony, as it used to be apparently at one stage. So I went back to Steve and said, I'm not allowed to go down there because it's a nudist colony. And he said, no, it's not, that was years ago. Very quick romance. Coming home from there, he proposed to me. We stopped a car outside a football oval, I remember that. And he said, will you marry me? I want to marry you. I said, I don't know, I was sort of shocked, I think. So anyway, it was a quick romance and lovely.